back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my September books that you need to keep your eye out for. I didn't do one of these in August because honestly I had one book pre-ordered and that was it. So there wasn't a whole ton of things that I felt like you need to keep your eyes out for. So I skipped August, but we're back in September. September is an awesome release month. So let's just dive in. So I've got a stack of books that are already out. So we've got When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is her first, I believe, thriller novel. She normally writes romance. I'm really excited to get to this one because I have heard nothing but phenomenal things about this author and this book. I believe this has to do with gentrification in cities. And that's all I know. I think it takes place in Brooklyn. And the main character's name is Sydney, which will make me creeped out the whole time that something bad is happening to my daughter, but it is what it is. I don't know, I'm just really excited. It's a psychological thriller, and I'm here for it, especially right now. Like, I have been in such a thriller mood lately that this is just exactly what I needed right now. So this came out, I want to say, September 1st, so this is already out in the world. Then we've got Happiness for Beginners by Katherine Center, and this is not necessarily a new release, but this is a new edition. So this book, she previously published before How to Walk Away, so this is one of her really older titles, but they re-released it with a cover that kind of matches her other ones, and I know my other ones are book of the month, so it won't necessarily match because this is paperback, but it's beautiful, and I had to pick it up. Again, it's not something that I know what it's about just because I kind of go into all of her books just blindly because she's just one of my go-to authors. So I don't know what it's about, but I'm excited to have it in my collection, and it's gorgeous. One of my most anticipated books that came out this year is Majesty by Katharine McGee, and this is the sequel to American Royals. This is a young adult series as if the President of the United States actually became a king instead, and we are following this future timeline, not future timeline, but a current timeline of this current family that is in the White House, and we're following the three siblings. One of the brothers doesn't really have a perspective, but we're following kind of his love interest. But yeah, this one is one that I was dying to get, and I cannot wait to read this one. I don't know how many books there are set to be in this series, but probably a trilogy because that was what her last series was. 1004 was a trilogy, so that would be my guess for this one. I'm obsessed with this cover. I love her tiara, and I'm ready for the drama. I'm ready. I'm here for it, so cannot wait for this one. And then the last one that came out September 1st is The Last Story of Mina Lee by Nancy June Kim, I think. And this is another mystery book that has to do with being an immigrant in America. This is also currently Reese Witherspoon's book club pick, so I will be reading this in the month of September, and I will be making its own video review and discussion, so if you would like to read it along with me, I would highly recommend you do so. You can get it through Book of the Month, or you can just get it regularly, so I'm excited for this one. And then this one is not out, but I already have a copy because it comes out tomorrow, and that is, ooh, sorry, it just completely disrupted my computer, is One by One by Ruth Ware. This comes out tomorrow, September 8th, but it was a Book of the Month choice, so I have it early. I did have it originally pre-ordered, but I didn't need the pre-order because I got it this way. I believe this is kind of probably similar to In Then There Were None, just based off the title alone. I think it's about people who are at a ski resort and they get snowed in. And my guess is people start dying. That's my only prediction. I love this cover. I really want to read it this month, but it's giving me such snowy vibes that I don't know if I should wait and read it in the winter time. I just put it in my September TBR, but we'll see what happens. But I'm excited to have another Ruth Ware on my shelf. And have a love-hate relationship with her, because some books I really, really love and others I just find to be okay, but I will read anything that woman writes. And then the next ones are not out. So on September 15th, we've got Don't Look Back by Wendy Walker, and I've already read this one. I read it through NetGalley, and this is a thriller novel about a woman who disappears, and she ends up leaving a note that says, "Don't look for me." And of course, her daughter decides she's going to look for her because she doesn't believe this story. It was very interesting. It didn't go the direction I wanted it to go, but that was because I had like this preset notion of what I wanted to happen. And it obviously didn't happen because I'm not the author. So I was a little let down, but it was still an interesting read, and I highly recommend you check that one out. And then we've got Legendborn by Tracy Deonn, and I think this is a young adult novel. And it is about a girl who, I believe she's in high school, but she's able to start college through this like special program or something like that. And when she's there, she witnesses this like magical fight. Somebody compared it to kind of like a Shadowhunters world, where like she didn't know this world existed, and now she and her friends have to go to college but also fight demons and things. So sounds fantastic, sounds awesome. And like I said, these come out September 15th, and the last one that comes out September 15th is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. His cover is phenomenal. It looks bright and peppy, but I heard it deals with some really hard topics. I believe that it is kind of inspired by the R. Kelly case. I think it's about this woman who, or girl, because I think it's also young adult, who wants to be a singer, and she kind of pairs up with this other person, and bad things start to happen to her. So I've heard nothing but phenomenal things, and that one just sounds amazing, and you should definitely check that one out. And then September 17th, we've got Thick as Thieves by Julie Olivia. I'm not too sure about the premise. The author contacted me to review it, and I said yes, please, because I read her book Match Cut in the spring, and I loved it. So I kind of just was like, okay, I'll pick up this one. I don't believe it's a sequel to Match Cut. I believe it's just its new series. But we'll have to see what that entails. But that is coming out this month. Also this month, we've got, oh my goodness, I'm like blanking on what it's called. The Right Player by Candy Steiner. That one comes out, I believe, September 24th. And I think that it is the best friend from The Wrong Game, and I loved The Wrong Game, and it's a football romance, so I will definitely be picking that one up this month as well. You know, me and Candy Steiner, she's an auto-buy author for me, so I will definitely be picking that one up, especially because, like I said, I loved The Wrong Game, so I'm excited for that one. And then September 29th, we've got our last two books. We've got Crush by Tracy Wolff, and this is the sequel to Crave. And I read Crave this summer, and I devoured it. And instantly, the minute I finished, I ran over to Amazon and pre-ordered Crush. I could not wait. So I'm so excited to see how the series is going to continue. It's a paranormal story about a girl who her parents both have died, and she now goes to live with her uncle, and he is like the dean or like the head administration at this like boarding school in Alaska, and she gets there and there's some paranormal friends in a world that she didn't really know existed. So really fun. I really like that. I know it's been compared to Twilight, but I love this one so much more than Twilight. And then the last one that comes out is The Return by Nicholas Sparks. I'm so excited to have another Nicholas Sparks on my shelf. I have read every single book that he's published, and I can't wait to know what this one's about. I'm going into it completely blind because he's just an auto-buy author that I will read anything that man writes. Again, he's another one, though, that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. I love some of his books, and I hate some of his, and I think it's just because he's written so many that it's easy just not to love all of them, because not everything is going to be your jam. But his last book, Every Last Breath, was gut-wrenching and I cried like crazy, so I'm excited to see what he has for us in this book. But yeah, those are all the books that are coming out in September. Let me know if I missed any that you're really excited for, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everybody.